Alright, so welcome to the Rising Phoenix. This is our village. My name is Keelan, Lunar Nightshade Foxfire. Yes, I know, long name. Technically, you know, I own a store. Foxfire's randomness. Self-made plug. Whatever. So the whole point is the fact of looking at the sim. So when you first come here, the first thing you're going to see is this board in front of your face. Now, reason being is because I'm trying to go for immersiveness on ground floor. So if you're just here to observe and look around, you want to make sure you have the observer titler. So if you click on it, this is what it's going to give you. You're going to see the fact that it has the tag and whatnot. So you add that to yourself, and it'll have the titler above your head. This is TRP Observer. The next thing that you want to make sure you click on is the book that you're going to see here in just a second. This right here that I'm standing in front of, this is our rules and regs. And this is extremely important because you don't want to come down here going, oh, a derp-a-terp. Because like it says on the thing, ignorance is not an excuse. Not here, not on my sim. So, I was going to show off our governor, the man who actually owns the sim itself, because see, I run it. It was given to me as a sim. Here, this is for your village. Take it, use it. By my SO dad. His name is Army Trucker. He is our governor. He's the one that mainly just signs the paperwork. I'm the one that runs it. I can't really feature him because he's currently at work, and he is snuggling with his free companion currently, and I don't wish to be rude and intrusive and show them like that. So, they might be featured in a different video. Some of these are extremely important that I touch on. I'm going to be pulling up our TRP Info 1 and 2, our basic laws, our SimRP laws, the application, the very second to the last thing here, and yes, available character rules list. So, these are just the basics. So this is letting y'all know like what characters we have available. So we need like a bakery cashier, which keeps track of what needs stocking, takes orders for the bakery. The blacksmith is upon approval because I need to make sure people understand how it is supposed to run. It's kind of technical. The butcher, it comes with an apartment. For those of you who are a part of Second Life, you will understand what 75 prim per 50L happens to mean. If you do not understand that, then feel free to IM either Slender Hollow or myself at Kitty1984. Or the names of people to contact will be in the description. Okay? Bodega cashier, grocery cashier. Now keep in mind, this with gore things or GNS items comes Spanish. You're going to end up having to learn it. To forewarn you that right now. So let's see, we have a lumberjack, miner, diner I'm probably going to take off because that's a cooking thing for like everybody, and that's also upon approval. We have a rancher for animals, beekeeper, scribe upon approval, which is the person that does all the paperwork and things like that, physician secretary, fisherman, slaver, panthers, unicorns, wolfkins, slaves, fantasy critters, and people upon approval. Now, the wolfkins are upon approval, and so are unicorns. The unicorns are awesome because they're based off of Anne McCaffrey's book, Corna. Yes. The next one that we're touching over should be the application. And this one's fairly actually easy. I think you should be able to click on, let's try this. I'm going to click on the FP Health cert and see if I can pull it into my inventory. Yes, okay, cool. So, go ahead, I'm going to cancel that out, actually. And then, what's going to happen is, this basically says your name, your age. If you do fill out this out, we need the full name. So, like, if you look at my name, you'll see my fancy letters, and then underneath it, my Kitty1984. I need the login, because that is a requirement on the application. If you have any slaves, if you want, if you happen to want one, don't have one, well, we eventually will get slave girls in here. You can go and find your own, one of the two. Race that you want. This is all your wants, basically. taking the physician, that is your health certificate. If you have a slave, it'll be their health certificate. An ownership paper to say that you own that that particular avatar, or your slave, and then the pledge to the homestone, which is like you are part of this village and you will be part of no other village. If you want to roleplay at multiple villages, that's on you. Okay? There are some things that really struck home for me for the Gorean beauty of it, and the homestone pledge was one of them. Blah, 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 blah. The pledge. Okay, moving on. SimRP laws. These are set in stone. These are what I require for the sim itself. You have to dedicate no less than 30 minutes of active roleplay 3 times a week. I don't want people coming here and just, oh, well, I'm just going to RP a little bit and I'm going to be not here for like a month. I want interactive people who actually want to be here. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean finding someplace and parking. Now, say if you have a job, like Slender's job, for instance, and we'll go meet him here in a little while. He is the seamster, or seamstress, as it's technically called. He makes the tapestries, carpets, spins the wool. He technically can stay at his house. He doesn't actually have to go out and go find people to roleplay with. He can just be there and wait for someone to come to him. That kind of thing's fine, but if you're a slave, and you're running around the farm, or you see someone running around the farm, go interact with them. Don't just stand around like a lump on a log. The housing, which I will touch on later, is an out-of-character area, but if you like to do dancers, gestures, whatever, I have a platform that we're calling a build platform. Technically, it's a private platform, but for gestures and dancers, go use it. It's like 4,000 feet in the air. I don't care. Thirdly is read all of the note cards that come in this book. If you do not, you take the risk of getting ejected and banned. Now, most of the time, it'll be for about 30... You get a few warnings, of course, but, damn it, no card, no card, no cards. Respect others, simply said. Anything in disagreements, it's up to me, Army Trucker, Kid Foxfire, or Dante Foxfire, or Dante Wolf. Yeah, this is for the main final decisions. Those are the only avatars that have the final decision. Now, in order to get a hold of us, I do have several managers. And one of those happens to be Slender Hollow. Now, what I'm going to try to do is give him a list on his for his description for this video on who is the Ubars, who's the managers, the officers, so forth, so on. So you'll know who to contact for things. Don't argue with people. It says, have fun, we're not a-holes, I promise. This place has been under development for about the last 6 to 7 years. I have been in Second Life for 8 years. And I discovered Gore when I was about 1.5 to 2 years old. And I've been developing this village ever since. You'll end up being an observer until you contact either myself, or Kit Foxfire, or Army Trucker. However, he's still going to tell you, Army will still tell you to come see me or Draco Wolf for approvals. Okay? Always wear the observer tag. Gestures, dancers, loud noises, whatever on the ground level are not allowed because we want total immersion. We're not by the book, okay, or BTB. We are. Most people think Gorean and they think, oh, slaves beating and cussing and calling the women whores and C words and C-U-N-T words. And a bunch of other... No. This is why I preach. Note card, note card, note card, note card, no cards. Okay? Because we are not that way. We have furries, all manner of critters, nothing larger than a first act werewolf. Please. For the love of God, nothing bigger than that. Because, buildings are hard to get into as it is. We are also post-apocalyptic. So you'll have modern mixed with Gorean things. What I tell people is that the sim is Gore meets Fallout 4, because we're 200 years after the Gorean Earth War, which is the post-apocalyptic bits, meets Fertopia, meets the gay community. Because we allow all types here. I mean, all types here. So, that's a major thing. And the little ping, as most other people will understand, is, I got IM'd by people. her spot back. And I'm like, no, because I need my cameraman to be closer to me so I can figure things out, because you're in contact with him, so I don't have to type to him all the damn time. Okay, so if you choose a predetermined character, act the role. And I'll use the unicorns as the examples. It's from Anne McCaffrey's book of Corona. They are shy, quiet, kind of easy to startle. They're not sluts. They're not whores. They don't go out and try to flirt. They don't try to get themselves captured. If you happen to be a derpy unicorn and get seen and somebody chases after you, okay, well then that's okay. But to go out and flirt and, no, you can't catch me. No, we don't do that. I'm sorry. Absolutely hell no. We are a family-based gorean sim. However, no age play. For those of you who don't understand what I mean. If you are a baby girl, that's whatever, don't care. If you are a little, age of 18 or 17 or less, and I catch you or someone catches you trying to be sexual in your roleplay, you will get permanently banned off the sim, no questions asked. And on my sim, I don't care if the TOS says that you're not allowed to share IMs and other things. I will request it to be shown to me. I will also give the person who's trying to report it my Skype. Because then what they're going to do is call me on Skype and show me and share screens with me in order to show me, or show whoever is that they're contacting to report this, their screen so we can see the conversation. And if that happens, the person who initiated it or is trying to get someone else to age play with them will be banned permanently off the sim. If they have no proof or what have you, then they'll be warned, look, I'm sorry, I can't do anything because there is no proof. If I read it as both parties are in trouble, then they will get I'm going to say a month ban off the sim as a warning of don't do this again. You will be allowed back. However, if you're caught doing it again, you're permanently banned off the sim. Originally it was, if there's proof of it, you get caught doing it, no questions asked, permanent ban. If it's proven that the person initiated it, like say for instance a little comes up and they're trying to get the person to mess with them, they're permanently banned off the sim. If the dude comes up, if someone comes up and tries to mess with a little sexually, like say a little slave, okay, and tries to mess with them, well, they report that to us, and we see that this person walked up and was trying to sexually mess with them, they're permanently banned off the sim. If it's a gray area and we feel kind of, I don't agree with this, like maybe someone misunderstood on how to treat littles that are slaves, it might just be a 30-day ban. But otherwise, age play risks permanentness. I'll explain about the little slaves after a little bit. For those of you who went, children as slaves. Okay, calm your tits, as my kid would tell me. I do ask for basic roleplay etiquette. Use brackets if you absolutely have to say something out of character. There's no god moding or overpowered roleplay. You have to give the person the option to not allow you to hit them. Character dress. Now this is where it gets tricky. We are grunge and gorean themed, so you wouldn't be pristine in your dress unless you had the seamstress make you something. Okay? For free, you can wear a bikini at the beach. But if, as a free woman, if you wear anything see-through, you will be treated as a slave and take the risk of getting yourself collared. Because that's only slaves wear clothes that are see-through. As long as you are wearing the observer tag, you can roleplay. If you're not wearing the observer tag and you try to roleplay, we will ignore you. Well, I kind of am. If you're just here for the housing, like say you're part of someone's family who's role-playing here, and they let you up the housing, and you come down to ground level, they still have to have that's the main thing. You have to have the observer tag on. Well, so that's the gray area here. As long as they have the observer tag on, and they want to try to roleplay to see if they like the place, then being an observer doesn't bar you, unlike other Sims, it doesn't bar you from being able to roleplay. Well, that's what I'm saying, is that if you don't have the observer tag, or a tag, you're going to get ignored. Yeah, the other thing is that when you're on ground level, you have to wear your tag. Like, that's an absolute, you have to wear your tag. I am going to go ahead and cam real quick on Little Miss Wolfgang, because she is our physician. And she's absolutely awesome. She's been sitting here in the clinic. I'll be showing that off here in a little bit, but she is one of our free women. She is one of our other physicians. We have probably about 3 physicians currently, so that may be a role that I'm going to be taking off. In my eyes, we can never have too many high casts. But we do have 3 of them, so I would like to lean more towards scribe or others than physician. So back to me. Let's see here. No guns. Oh, is she? Hold on. Okay. This is one of Army's girls. Typing out of here real quick. Let's see here. We're doing a video to showcase the Sims. Say hi. Probably because you're too far away. So yeah, so that's one of Army's other girls. Right now she's maybe dressed more free woman than slave, because she's completely covered, as you can see. Okay, so back to what I was talking about in the recording. Radio silent. So, now. So again, the dressing gets kind of, tricky. Free women can dress like Lilith, if you want, or those that are wanting to showcase the fact that they're more gorean than they are Earth can dress in typicals like myself. Okay, and no purple. Only the Ubar and Ubara wear purple. So no purple. Because the owners of the sim are the ones that wear purple. No guns or bows or crossbows, unless if it's a GNS weapon, then that's cool. Drama llamas shall be slaughtered on sight. Joking. Okay. Problem is that if you have an issue, take it up with one of the owners or a manager. Again, those will be listed in the description. You get 3 warnings before a 24-hour ban. If you continue to stir the crap pot or be a party of it, you're going to get permanently banned. Moving on to basic laws, because I am trying to just kind of touch over these. It's your responsibility to read these. With the application, you have to do everything it says on the application. The basic laws, kind of a lot of it is what to take to who. Okay? In regards to children, this is the part that I said I would touch on later. Scroll down. Or tell him to scroll down. In regards to children. While we are a family gorean sim, however, these are a few rules. The no age play means no sexual period, okay? In Gore, there are slave children. However, they do not dress in silks. I will supply, if it's a toddly-do, dresses for both slave children and free children. If you are a regular-sized avatar, ask. Okay? Children can dress in pants and shirts, modern, grunge style clothes, that's fine. They can go to the seamstress and have a dress, supposedly ordered, or an outfit supposedly ordered. Okay, RPLE, the seamstress has a sewing machine that is like a miracle worker. If we see children of any age in silks, you will get permanently banned, period. However, we will first ask you to change. If you argue about it, you will get banned. Okay? Slave children do not wear RLV collars. Ever. So that, I don't want to see a master running around with a leashed child. I will, oh my god, you will be in trouble if I see that. But you can wear unscripted collars. So if you want a representation of the fact that you're a slave, you can wear a collar, but it cannot be RLV scripted. In Gore, all children are equal until they are of age. In this village, of age for physical labors is 16. So you become technically slave of age at 16 years old. You do not become sexual of age until you are 18 in this village. I don't care if you are from a area where they consider 15 years old the age of consent. In America, you are not sexually able to do shit until you are 18. This is American Rant. Deal with it. No children in the bathhouse or tavern. Ever. I will showcase the tavern and the bathhouse as well. Also, children would have seen the girls running around in silks or barely their coverings. You're going to see boobies and other things. And remember, the main theme of this sim is a gorean sim. So if you like, ew, boobies, don't roleplay here. Okay? The renting bits is basically housing. If you're going to rent, it will explain how and what you're allowed to do. Okay? I'm not going to go over all that. TRP info 2. Yeah, let's do 1, actually. So, basically what this is explaining is that this whole gore is based off of John Norman's books. I wish to God I could find them, but where I live, the books are not in the entire state. Because it is a highly religious state. So I can't find them. I would have to buy them. However, we do have, as much as it is discouraged normally, we will have a note-carded copy of the books that's passed around in SL available in our library if you wish to read what is there. Now, the casts, I keep mentioning, purple, blue, yellow. So the cast, the blue, is scribes and entertainers. Now, there's a lot of people that are like, well, there's different shades of blue. Screw your shades, go home. Okay? Blue are scribes and entertainers, green are physicians and traders, yellow, like pure yellow, is builders, the red cast are warriors and guards, or officers, alright? Black cast are assassins, the gray, or gray and black, is blacksmith, purple is ubar or ruler of the village, so no one but the owners are allowed purple. Other groups you'll meet are hunters. They are kind of like the warriors, but they're not. They're the ones that are RP hunting to get, capture slaves, maybe bring in some exotic food and things. The unicorns, again, are based off of Anne McCaffrey's book, Acorna. I highly recommend that you find it at the nearby library and read it, because a lot of those characters, should you wish to be one, are based off of her entire series. Villagers are just regular people, and lower castes, now slaves. Here's the thing. Slaves are animals. They are here to serve us and be sold off as and when we choose. They are a commodity to buy and sell. However, they are also the backbone of our village. So that would be covered. I want everyone to be able to read the slave laws, the free laws, because there are certain ways that we treat slaves here that you will not find on any other sim. A lot of our slaves are allowed coin. If their masters wish it, they are allowed adornments, jewelry. I mean, man, we are spoiled. We are so spoiled as slaves. But, exactly, depending on the master. Most masters here will absolutely spoil you, but you have to know your place, 1. You have to do your job, 2nd. And while most places allow any free to discipline you, that free can take you to the slaver, the ubar, the governor, the sheriff, me as head Kajari and or ubara, depending on what title I'm wearing that day. Yeah, and have you detained until your master can come and deal with you. The Wolfkins, I said, are the half canines. Those are our gods. Roleplay and combat. We run the GM meter. We run the RP meter. That is an absolute must. Roleplay is vital. So you don't actually have to use these terms, but you will hear them. So toward the bottom of the note card here is our saying. So if you hear greetings, that is hello. Usually that is done to slave to master, or master to slave, or slave to slave. Free to free is usually tau, or hello. Some people might say I for yes. There are a few that use it. Kit, he was in Gore for so long and so kind of there that if he's, he'll agree. He'll be like, I. That is definitely a thing. He does that. Safe paths, if you see that. It means, goodbye, farewell, basic greeting. You don't actually have to use that stuff, but you will see it here. Moving on to the second one. All free, or in case you're not sure, like if a slave is not sure if that person is a free or not, just say master or mistress anyway to be safe. Okay? Now, if someone might roleplay at you or let you know that they're uncomfortable hearing the term master or mistress, if they just OCC out of character tell them then please roleplay telling me you're uncomfortable with it and to call you sir or ma'am. And then that way, whenever you see that person, you will address them like that. Dean, one of our builders, he RP'd that with me. So I will tell him, hello, sir. Because it's still respectful, and it's still my place, but not, making him uncomfortable. If you don't know the gender of a free person, call them master. Like if somebody IMs you, and you're not sure if they're slave or master, or male or female, just say master. They will correct you. If you're in the tavern, or if someone says, hey, please go get me da-da-da, serve only one person at a time. That way you can put your 100% focus on that person. Free people, greet people, like I said earlier, free to free is towels, slaves with greetings. Slaves say greetings to whoever, just in case you're wondering. Now, if you really want to be a stickler on how you do things, if you want to really do it the Gorean way, I have listed here number 5 on how to do it. So in greeting people, you greet the free person who allowed your entry, or who recognized you first, any governor, ubar, officer, high caste, masters, mistresses, and then any slaves. That's technically how that's done. That's a lot to remember. It's not a requirement. You're good. If you have to leave, please put an OCC that you have, to ask to either go, if you're a slave, to go kennel, to go do whatever. Permission, or at least letting people know, hey, I need to do da-da-da, is a requirement. If you have children, if it's an emergency, just, say, emergency, BRB. Or kids, BRB. Kid. Something to just say, I gotta go. Yeah, and definitely use the OCC brackets, please. So this here is that slaves don't own anything, not even their name. Now it's a Gorean thing. Now, if the master wishes you to change your name, you only have to change the titler that comes with the GM meter HUD name. So let me put my HUDs back on now that we're done with the... Well, I'm going to be going to the mermaid area, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here real quick. Okay, you'll notice, so as it adds, where is it? Is it the RP HUD? Mine's on, it's just being a turd. Yeah, we're going to have to show you Slender. So you'll see more than likely above his head here in just a second, a thing that says Slender above it. Now, that is where you change your name if a master chooses to rename you. If they insist and say, well, no, you have to do it via, your entire name. No, the hell you don't. Yeah, my HUD's being a derp. I can't see it on mine. Yeah. So, that's how you change that, because, you know, like for instance, Sky, who was our Ubar, he had amassed a whole bunch of debt and had to be a Gajaris for a little while. Well, the lady that owned him did not want his name as Batir, so she changed his name to Sky. So technically he did change it via his meter, but then he fell in love with the fact of the name change and changed his name completely. That is a thing that can happen. Slaves always get the last word. Yes, master or mistress. If I get an argumentative village slave, you might get booted from the village. So, that or take the chance of getting yelled at. Now, do remember that anything that the master allows is fine for their slaves. However, they're not allowed to be like, well, you only have to listen to me, not anyone else. I'm sorry, but that is not a thing. Some of these things that you're going to read, like number 9, for instance, I give quotes of like how it is in the Gorean way, and then I do, however, this is how we do it. Okay? Like for instance, the adornments, the coin. You know, we're more lax of a community. The slaves understand that at any moment, they could be stripped clear down to being naked and having to run around like that in just underwear, and that's it, should the master so choose. And I decided to put a quote here that I find kind of important as to why. It's a quote from one of the books. It says, "Come here," I said, "and kneel here." She rose from the water, and it dripped from her body, and came and knelt on the grass on the bank of the small stream where I had indicated. I took the comb from her and laid it to the side. I then took the brush, and kneeling behind her, began to brush out her hair. It is not unusual for Gorean masters or mistresses to comb and groom slaves, or ornament them personally, much as they might any animal they owned. And that's from the Slaves of Gore, page 237. Savages of Gore. So basically, the slaves are treated very much like if you have a beautiful dog, cat, whatever, and a horse, and you're grooming it, same concept. I know that sounds horrible, but that's how it is in the Gorean community. The last thing, the rule that I'm going to go over before we finish our tour, is that Gore is not fair. Neither is the village. Get over it. We make the rules and the laws. You can either abide by them, and abide by the fact that I am a stickler on some things, or you don't roleplay here. That's pretty much the only thing I can say. The rest of the note cards are up to you to read them, because I don't have all day to go over them. So, if you also notice the post-apocalyptic bits all the way around here, that's why I'm spinning in a circle so you can see it, then there's a subtle change. Okay? And that subtle change goes into the more Gorean-esque bits of the village that you might see like in someone's house, or, you know, things like that. We should probably skip the mermaid to save time. Yeah. Now, some of the fantasy creatures also that we have here are mermaids, and this area down here, I would recommend walking to it from as close to the second river as possible. That way it's easier. So what I'm going to do now is a thing here. It's kind of difficult to do. I don't know if I can do it actually on here. Can you make it so it's like you're looking down on the place? Like zoomed out. Yeah, like this. Like this. I'll show you the angle one. Okay. We're probably going to have to minorly unplug my mic here for just a minute so we can do the zoom wheel. Because that's going to go a little faster. Because look, that's how I need it. Okay. 1 second, please. Yes, it will. Watch. Okay, so now we can zoom in just a little bit. Okay, now move up that way a little bit. these outer rocks aren't all that important. But getting the governor's house in here is. Okay, now zoom down. Just a hair. Okay, that'll work. I think. Can't really see the rivers all that well, can you? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is show you. This is a topographical map of the place. What we're standing on right here is this right here. This is the landing zone that we just landed in. These are outer rocks. You can't actually reach any of this off-sim things. This right here is the ridge. Now see, I'm going to be showcasing all this, but this is just a map idea. The mines are here. This is the unicorn or the acorn people area right here. This is a waterfall with a river that comes this way. This is the second river because here is all the Panthers area. Trust me, and especially as a male, don't go over there. There's a little rock bit here to cross to get to the mines. The Panthers don't go here. Well, because, you know, they don't want themselves to get captured either. This is our dinosaurs, our Tharalarians. Story goes the reason why nobody goes across the ridge is some of these little buggers got loose. We're talking velociraptors, okay? Velociraptors got loose and live on the other side of that ridge and will eat and hunt you. This right here, you can't really see it all that well from here, is our other river. And that's the first river. Then we have our animal pens, our kennels, vineyards, greenhouse, garden. This is our master physician's, our main physician's house. He lives here. This is the bathhouse, and this is the governor's home. No one goes inside this house right here. If we catch you in here, you will be banned. This is the... Come on. Exiled, actually. This right here in the main city, this is called the capital. Yeah, this right here, this is Slender's home. This is where the seamstress lives. Then the port city here. And a lot of like the tavern, subway, whatever's underneath the capital. So we'll have to address that here in a second. But I'm not going to, this is the mermaids area here. I'm not going in the mermaid area because it's just, no. So the camera's going to move back to me so I can walk around fairly quickly. If you want to play on the ship, you're welcome to. You can click the cannon, but only the seaside cannon. Play with the cannons all you want, but click the seaside cannon only, please. Okay. And up the plank, down the plank. This thing's kind of tricky. So, this is the entrance. It'll say, you know, welcome to the Rising Phoenix. When you are a Kajari or a Kajaris coming here for the first time, you go into those cages. Let someone know you're here. We will try to make sure that the slaver is contacted. You know, or someone else who can process you. Then we have our slave auctions, which we don't have all that often because we don't have enough slaves. These stalls here, you do not have to RP here or live here to rent a stall. And let's see, this one is available only for those at the village. We do hold regular fishing tournaments at some point in time. These here that I'm walking on now are the docks. I am going to walk along the dock here because I want to show you. Okay. Now, if you give me just a second here. This here is our inn. So for those of you who don't want to have a house or an apartment, like the housing is for if you are going to have people here that are not going to be role players, then you have to have a house. Because we do not want non-role players ground level. Sorry, I'm kind of a bitch that way. You're fine. So this is for people who RP but don't want to rent an apartment. Let's see here. Oh. Try to get to back to my head. Alright, so now. Yes, okay, here we go. This is just a plain ruin. Again, more of the post-apocalyptic. This here is the fisherman's hut, so anyone who wishes to just be a fisherman, I'm going to make it so it's kind of a more public area. All you do is literally fish and supply the village with fish. That is literally all you do. We're beachy, so it's tropical. Second river. This is our Builder Dean's fishing spot, but, you know, sit here if you want. It's not on the stool. Really, who snuck that in there? Okay, we have a weed plant, sue me. Bee trees! That's a colmena. I'd rather not, you know, get in touch with my bee side, as it were. Now I'm going to show you, because our resident panthers are not available currently, but this is their home. And it actually is really far up. Are you miking with somebody or what? Okay. Okay. So they get a very awesome view of our village. Sorry. Let's see here. This part's here. Turn around. And up here. There we go. Oop. Fire. So that's their little home there, that I'm fit by the campfire here. And then they have an absolutely gorgeous view of the village, which I will pan around here in just a second. As you can see, it is an absolutely gorgeous view of the village. Just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of fall here. Easier. While we're over here, now see this, like I said, this is the second river. This here is the Panther's colmena. We don't touch that. Yeah, anyway, moving on. So like I had showed you, this here is our, little way to get over here to the mines. This is the unicorn's colmena. We don't mess with that. But this is the entrance to the mines. Now, Dean, our builder, like I said, he calls them the unknowns. He gives these, this is a little box here that he gives as a gift to them. So it's kind of cute. Whatnot. And back around to my face here. Or to my head. So I can take y'all up here. This I terraformed myself. I'm kind of proud of it. Whichever mines. The biggest thing is if you're going to be a miner or you're going to help with this, we accept donations because these things are not cheap by any means of the word. These are 300 to 400 linden a mine. And then the salt mines I wanted a little closer down here because I'm thinking, hey, you know, salt water, salt, it makes sense. Now, I'm not going to show you the secret passage that the Hunies take because, I'm sorry, that's cheating and some things we don't want dealt with or seen. Oop, crap. Their entrance, technically, is up this way. Good God, cat! What the hell was that? Okay, so this is like all trees and bleh. Where am I going? Okay, here we go. This is the pheonix area. This is a place that no one goes into but those who are role-playing unicorns. The governor, anyone else, never comes in here. The exception to that rule is Dante and Draco, because their wives, even though they have free companions and slaves, their actual partners play pheonix here. And this is where the unicorns live. So this is, I'm showcasing this so in case you want to play a unicorn, this is the advantages that you get. Okay? It's absolutely freaking gorgeous in here. And I'm going to make sure that I remember to kind of pan around. Hold on. So yeah, it's definitely pretty in here. And then in the water, we have little magnolias growing, and then they have their pond thing. The pheonix also have their own farm, which I will show you here in just a second. You run past it and I'll turn around. Walk this way. As you can see, you have your fake grapevine, and then your regular one. This is what they use for their food. No. And now we're going to get out of here because I've got other things to show. We've got a whole city to show yet. What? Yeah, as long as you stay there. Alright, coming off of here. This here is the first river. It goes clear up to here. I'll walk along the line so you can see where it actually goes. So these are our Tharlarians. Right now we have some of the latest breeds currently. These are also rideable. They're tameable and rideable, I should say. You have to tame them first, then you can ride them. And then we have our Rents plants. If you run as a petite, then we happen to have a petite home. Now these here are our arbors. These are done for the carpentry and whatnot. This is our Draco's home here. We move so the camera will actually show the whole thing here. So this is his home. The little goat and whatnot is actually Slender's. Now this here that I'm fixing to go into is at... Okay, fine, I have to go around the front. Let's see how it is. This here is our bathhouse. And this is gorgeous. Let me cam around. So it's very, very, very pretty. However, littles are not allowed inside there. If you are a petite, then you can go into this house. If you are a little kid, you can only go into the bottom part to play of this house. Okay? Only. What are you doing? Make sure you get your meters back on. And then, like I said, I'm going to pause here and cam around so you can see the governor's house. That log cabin right there, you do not go into. Period. That is a major no-no. This thing here is kind of a bit of a pride and joy. This is a garden. All free, you can experience it. Or slaves, or whatever. Spirits want to do as they want in it. We do ask if you're going to be a slave. Ask before you touch. Alright? We have our own paper. We make our own paper. I mean, anything GNS we have. But if you see things like, for instance, these little guys right here. I'll walk past them so my camera. I have camera difficulties. These two plants here, don't touch them. Okay? If you see stuff marked like here, you'll see on the on this, it'll say bakery rinse. That means you don't touch this. Right here. Period. This one right here is for the tavern. You don't touch that either. And then we have our chicken coops. Now I'm kind of doing things a little backwards from the ship. I kind of went a different direction. Now let me cam around you guys to see the greenhouse. Alright. Now this building is where we have our milk machines, because we have, I'll point myself in the direction. The one in the corner there is the milk. This one over here, I'll turn me around, is the butter. And then this other one back near the doors for cream. Each of the tables are marked because we have cocoa trees, which means we can make chocolate. The vineyards are off limits to any and everyone, which means these two things right here, these are called propagators. These are off limits as well. And then we have our boss. Right now we don't have many because we just went through and like killed a bunch of them because we had to. Oh god, did you use the regular shampoo or something? Okay, because I think it's the soap. I'm like all of a sudden eye watery and oh, I know, the sudden perfumes. These are our vineyards. We actually make very nice wines out of these. These are my babies, that's why you don't touch them. We have tarsks, which are in that pen over there. Yeah, that farther pen. We do have some crops, which they're kind of open for harvest, but what happens is mostly the head Kajaris deal with this. If you wish to help, if you're a slave and you want to tend it, that's fine. If you're told how to do it, if you're told how to harvest and where to put it, that's fine. Always find either myself, a lady named Lilith, or again, Slender Hollow, things like this, before you do anything. But you can care if you wish. Like if you want to be a farmer, I will direct you on how to do so. These are our our sheep. These two here, currently the reason why they're separate from the rest is that these are our first child's, basically my daughter's, pets. and you guys already saw Slender's pets. But these are our and, no, not you, just the animals. Just your and then, he'll come down and he'll shear them and, whatever, but he's not responsible for milking and other things. Those trees that I'm pointing at now that are way in the distance, you'll see a leopard, a lynx, and tiger around them. Those are our cocoa trees. Those animals are absolutely harmless. I have wild Kajaris, just two of them. Oh, sorry, I needed something to drink. Simply because we can, and I don't know, I've always put him down there and I like it. I decided to name him AJ because my favorite Backstreet Boy was named AJ, and then my favorite tiger, or my favorite animal, was a lion. Or a lion, a damn tiger. So there you go. These are for the diner only. These are cared for and never touched unless you are a slave of, or you run the diner. And then we're back, full circle, back at the inn. So now we're going to go into the villages. Or into, you know, the main hub of the village itself. I'm also up for any suggestions, like if you know of different ways to improve the place, by all means let someone know. True. Now this here originally was the slaver's office, but she's going to be moving into the capital, like I showed you on the overground map, because this is where people come to bring their slaves, and I need her in a bigger area. Her, however, and the scribe's home are right here. Now, we can have multiple scribes and things like that, but the main two we have currently live in there. No, I'm not going to be showcasing the inside of people's houses. You know, especially not without permission, because wolf drakes, you know, the Hollywoods is as they're called, even though wolf drake is his own thing. Thank you. So, this is owned by Caddy Fuzzbuddington. She is our grocery or our bodega person. Yeah, if, say for instance, if one of the slaves is tending her stuff, like for the bodega, they need to drop it in that basket right there. That's her stuff there. Let's see. So she sells all manner of stuff. We're gonna open up some of these here. We'll just have to remember to close them. Now, in the first one, the first fridge, you'll see is nothing but ingredients. So that's why if you have your own cookers, you can cook whatever it is you need. The next one after that, as you'll see, is different foods. We can make pizza, which is awesome. And then she decided to get cute and do bottled water, simply because she can. That's why it's only 1 coin. And you'll also notice the prices here are extremely low. I don't want people coming in from outside and buying stuff from the village. That's what the stalls are for. Only role players are allowed inside the bodega because we have an economy that we're trying to work with. Alright. And then we've got other dry goods and things over here in the corner. And then doop-a-doop-a-doop. You're serving the Ubara, so there you go. This is our kind of cafe. Like, for those who don't want to be in the tavern, we have a place for them to sit and have their tea, coffee, whatever it is they want. The blacksmith is the one that built... The blacksmith and carpenter got together and built these really nice chairs. And yeah, it's just really nice. And then some of the other gorean-esque free women brought their sitting area. And then we have a bakery. And I'm going to kind of cam out a little bit so you can see the full front of the place. We had found some of the old gingerbreading underneath the welcome sign. It was stonework because the masonry was really good. But then going back into the camera here, this is our builder's cousin's area. She is our baker. Her name is Abby. She's not on currently. But last time I went to Mardi Gras here in Estelle, I got the Mardi Gras macaroon stand. So you guys can get macaroons if you want them. And then the cupcakes aren't GNS. Get all 3 too if you want. Those are no buys. Alright, anywho. So you can get different things here as well, like from coffee with cream, regular coffee. So the bakery runs the cafe, is basically what that is. Now, this is why you need to be careful. I did this on purpose. Exactly. This is left here so people will pay attention to what they're doing. And if it's a runaway slave and they're not careful, they have to fall in there. So it gives their captors an advantage to come get them. Okay? I almost forgot. No, I almost forgot an area. Back here is Abby's grapes, so you don't touch those. But this is the butcher area. The butchery. I'm not walking in that grass in my dress. I'm sorry. No. But for the butcher, this is what they control. It's this whole area right here. It also comes with this little apartment right here. Yeah, go ahead and click on it. Because I'm going to showcase the inside real quick here. So it's, you know, it's nice. It's a little small, but that's why I call it apartments, not homes. But if you're to be the butcher, then it will be 75 linden. Or excuse me, 50 linden for 75 creme. Now, for normal housing, it's 50 for 50. However, for some aspects and some jobs, I do allow for more creme. Oh, gosh darn it. Yeah. Right. So, you will also see a lot of gorean-esque things here. Like, I'm going to cam up so you guys can see the banner better. That's the builder's banner. Okay, so this is the builder's shop. That being said, I'm going to zoom in on my head so you guys aren't stuck in the wall while I go inside. Oh, for you who are furries, these hydrants are placed around the sim for a reason. Don't pee on your neighbor's trees. This is our carpentry. So, it's rather simplistic. You're not going to kill my parrot. And our main builder also has a sense of humor and put up a Fallout sign just to kind of impress the whole fact that we are in fact Fallout based. Alright, back out here we go. Now when you come in and you're getting processed, okay, this is talking about seeing the UBAR, the scribe, the so forth, so on. You want to come here into the capital. This is where all the main offices happen to be. So you'll come up here and you'll go to the right, or your other right, my left, duh, and you're going to see both the UBAR and the scribe's banner, which are these here. It's also kind of apparent because the carpet here is blue, just so you know. This is a GNS black market thing. You can play on that if you want. This is the officer, our sheriff's seat only. He doesn't technically have an office because he's not really ever really needed unless people really mess up. But this is all his stuff. This here is where you will see for the scribe, and he will process you. He will also give you citizenship papers. If you are a slave, he will give you travel papers, should your master allow you to travel. Back here behind the stairs, we've hidden on where we get our meters from, because you don't get the meters unless you are in processing, because that's part of the citizenship thing. I know, derpy, but whatever. Up here is our governor's office. So this would be Armored Trucker's office, or my dad's office. He is from the city of R as well, so he is definitely, he is from a by-the-book type roleplay. So he's kind of a stickler on how he's addressed, things like this, but he's very gentle about how he addresses it and stuff. You know, if you continue with it or be an ass on purpose, trust me, you're gonna hear about it. Actually, I'm gonna be showcasing in here. I went in a window, but whatever. This is part of our post-apocalyptic bits, like the military-grade generator and the fact that there's sandbags all over. It, you know, we got it to work. Plus, with the help of our priest kings, or gods, they helped us make it work too. Okay, so next up this road. Now, that way there is to the governor's house, forward, so we don't go there, okay? And this over here is Slender. He's our seamstress. Oh, okay, my outfit. Yeah, There are certain things you do and do not touch. If you're going to come in here, don't touch anything, because this is his area. This is no longer an available character list. But this is him. I almost said yow. Ow. You know, he's the one that's helping me with the cameras and the things currently. What? Ow. Alright. I'm going to cam severely onto my head. Alright, a proud thing that he's got, because he's running the camera currently as I'm trying to do. See, it's a three-person process, because he's recording, I'm recording the sound along with my daughter, so that way we can send it to him, because he's running the camera. But she's in voice call with him, so he can hear me when I'm trying to direct where I want the camera to go. So, it's a difficult process. But yeah, he's awful proud of that thing. Alright. Thank you. There, that way I'm out of the way. His tapestries. And then his little baby. Right, yeah, and then his liquor that he's got there. But that's his little baby Sarah. Yeah, and Zoobies are allowed. I will request, if you are having Zoobies, no more than one, please. Because they are 35 prim apiece. It will count against your prim. Yeah. His is fine because, you know, he's part of our immediate family. But, with anyone else, it's an issue. We do have varying, like, trucks and things around, you know, for the whole post-apocalyptic thing. We have varying apartments as well around the place. This is our diner, okay? And this over here is our punishment thing. I know. See, I didn't mean for this to be a thing, but if you're ever punished, you will be stuck in these cages. The diner and the cooking of the diner is the top floor right there. So the punishment people get to smell all the good foods from the kitchen while not being allowed to eat. I am evil. Hear me roar. Roar! Anyway, moving on. This is the diner. I have a Little's rocker bed here for in front of the fire, because I'm sorry, Fiola Kajari's place is in their little beds. So, we have an adult bed, a Little's bed, and a little carpet. I do not want to ever see Littles in this bed, because if they are, they will get booted. Yeah, go to a child's outfit, please. That is an adult outfit. I told you that already. So, I need to turn for a second here and still showcase, like, this bookcase here. And, my tapestry there with the fox. And, are you wearing, is she wearing her pants, Alpha? Okay, there it goes. It just kicked in. Alright. This is one of our resident Littles. Her chore, because of it being a farm, was to turn all these milks into cream. It's not as child labor law as you would think. I promise. It's just a chore, you know, like you send a kid out to churn butter on a farm, what have you. What should you say hello to? For the kids, it's not, you know, even though we are a bit of a stickler on things. To finish the video. Just, you'll get sweets. You know, and that's how it is, because she's, even though as she role plays my daughter, she was born while I was temporarily freed. So in Gore, she would still be considered a free child. So she's not a slave or nothing. She's earned. The kids' juice on the table if you want it. With the honey candies. Okay, we have a butter churn thing. So only the diner people that are going to be cooking, slaves who need to eat, you can go up there. The free do not eat free. Okay? You go to the bodega. This is kind of our fancy diner area. Bless you. You can have romantic meals, things like this. If there is someone up cooking, you can say rings bell for service. Someone will come to you. Now, for some of the more fun parts of the place, kind of the coup de grace of the whole area. Littles can come down here, but they cannot go to the tavern. What I'm going to showcase first, our cheesery. Behind the cheesery is a private storage. No one's allowed back there. This is also considered kind of a more private storage, but it's a public storage for the slaves who are dropping things off. Oh god, these wines need to hurry up. These are some of our wines. We're going to be appellated soon. We have appellation, I just need to number those. This is diner storage. This is bodega storage. Like, say for instance, if you're cooking and you want to help out the grocery store, then this is where you would drop things off, if you have specifics. Eventually we're going to be arranging arena fights. So this area here is going to be where that's going to be held. Littles are allowed down here specifically because if you think back in the Romanesque days and also gorean ways, they would be taught to fight. So littles can be down here for the arranged fights. However, where we're going now, no littles are allowed over here, ever. Exactly, under any circumstances whatsoever. Now, if we're giving tours, we do give guided tours, and if the littles want to accompany their parents, then that's fine, because everyone who might be in the tavern understands that we have a guided tour coming in. So if there is any sexual activity going on, it will stop. However, that's the only time littles are allowed over here. You know, there is, yeah. That and there's alcohol involved over here. So, you just notice how it says, you know, tavern this way, so forth, so on. So I love this. Our carpenter builder dude is awesome. The brewery that you see past that is for the bodega and caddy. Sometimes she's nice and she might give away a barrel or two, but that's only for those who know her. Oh, I do apologize. I have soda for like my once a month soda. This way is the tavern, as it showed on the sign. Now, this room here is not allowed for anyone other than staff to go inside. Because this is the heart of our village, right here. I'm going to stand right here, and then I'll pan around in a circle. This is our brewery. And this is where the main hub of everything goes on. So, no one's really allowed down here. Alright, I'm going to have to tend this after the video, as it is. Now, the tavern itself is over here. the main reason why we do not allow the littles down here, one, it's a tavern, it's a bar. Come on. Okay? Now granted, when I was younger, I used to go to the bar with my grandma, and I would be able to sit there at the bar with her, and the guy would come over being cute. He'd, what are you having today? And grandma at first would order me a milk, you know, whatever, and then she would order her beer, and then he'd look at me and said, what you having? And I used to look at him and my 6-year-old little self, ice cold milk. You know, in the same, you know, with a little push on the, you know, tap the bar. I mean, it was adorable, and I had fun with it, and the dude loved me to death. This is not that kind of bar, because as you can see before you, we have a pool table with a stripper pole. This is an extremely naughty table. People can have sex on this table. No. Yeah, well, no for the littles, okay? We're talking about the littles. I shouldn't have to say no for the littles. Now, going again with the post-apocalyptic thing, I have the TV on the floor as a you know, remnant of. So, like... Are you serious? Fucking... You dickbag!
Hey, Bob!
Jesus Christ, you son of a bitch! Oh! Turn double-click teleport off if you're going to be here. This is why. Oh my god.
I can't believe Anyways, like I'm supposed to tell you.
Oh, trust me, I can hear him dying on the other side. Oh my god. Alright. If you click on the drink price box, this is for when my Aunt Pam is down here. She's our tavern keeper. Oh, okay, so moving on. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, it has drink prices, as you can see. Some things cost more than others.
The chairs are also naughty.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, and you can dance on the bar, too. I forgot about that. We got a Coyote Ugly going on over here. But yeah, click on the box. Have him click on the box in the background behind him. Yeah, and then accept it, and it'll open. Oh. I'm still recovering. Damn it. That's also why we don't allow people to teleport just anywhere in the sim. But this will show you that, you know, there are drink prices for things. This is an extension of the brewery over on the side. So, yeah, anyway, this is a no-touch as well. But this is kind of our Appalachian Museum, because this is where we were when the first barrels we had of Appalachian. And then, honestly, the only thing we ask is, like, say for instance, I have to teleport out. So I would excuse myself, I'd come over here, and if there's no one else around right here, or that I can see is coming in, I'll teleport out from here, okay? If you are topside, as I have to wait until I get off the wall. Oh, and this is not toxic water, this is estuary water. This actually should be a darker green. But I'll fix that later. Okay, if you are topside and you need to be able to park and go teleport, your best bet would be to walk down here to the port city where the apartments are smaller. And like say for instance this apartment right here, there's nobody in it. You just find a place, you hop on in, and then you can teleport out. Because technically you're inside a building and no one should be able to see you. But I'm going to go like this, take myself to the ship, And this has been the Rising Phoenix. Okay, so anyway, as an extension, because he forgot to let me say goodbye and do a closing, I do hope you guys want to come visit. This is the basics. Definitely go when you res in, read the note cards. I cannot stress that enough. Lastly, we do say in our have them click up here on the Rising Phoenix and then go to Covenant, or just keep it under General. Yeah, just keep it there. You'll see the very first thing after when you click on the words up there of the Rising Phoenix. Yeah. Now the first thing you're going to see is no age play, no biting from any game HUD at all, or immediate ban. Here's the kicker of that. Okay, as you can see in the bottom right of, well, you can't see it, but in the bottom right corner of my screen, I am a vampire through Bloodlines. Destroyed, but I still play Bloodlines. If it's a pre-arranged bite, or you tell somebody, hey, I'm hungry, then we can arrange for a feeding session. But what I mean by that is no just coming on here and spamming bites, or some people play Progeny. You can't come here and just eat off people. You have to ask. But anyway, that's lastly it. So there you go. Hope you come to visit, and see you later.